Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crypto Hour. Of course, my name is Rodney. I'll be your host for this hour, and I am joined by
Jake Gagan signing in here today, guys. This is look, Rodney and I usually like to have fun. We like to
absolute
have
bullshit.
incredible streams. We like to have fun. We like to hype it up, guys. But this is another very serious stream because this is a project that we're going to be talking about, Shibnobi, that had a multi-billion-dollar market cap, and then today they announced that they're discontinuing use and they're not going to be moving on with Shibnobi. Rodney, I mean, your first take on this, man. What the hell is going on today?
Well, here's the thing. When they did a migration from their V1 to V2, not all the liquidity was put back in the V2. And to me, what this is, it's like, hey, I don't think they ever even had some sort of plan to be in this space for a while, and now they're running off into the sunset with the fucking investors' money. Absolutely insane. Congratulations for being extra liquidity. And real quick, flowers to a big bouquet of flowers, and he gave them to me already, to Feltron, because Feltron called this motherfucker out in February, I think, of 2000, or like December of like 2021. So shout out to Feltron. There's your flowers, man. Jake, absolutely insane. You know what's crazy is that I mean, we talk a lot of shit about a lot of projects, but they're not up and leaving. You know, they're not abandoning it. At least they're pretending like they're doing something. Shout out to Saitama. You know what I mean? Absolutely insane.
Yep. And I specifically, I texted Faltron and I was like, hey, can you come into the space? So we're going to bring him up here in about 10 minutes because, like you said, he was the one that called them out first. And he probably has so much information that he can't wait to share. Because I remember it was back in maybe January or February of 2022. And Faltron was calling out Cliff. He had Etherscan reports. And this is when Shibnobi was pumping. And Cliff, like, I think had Faltron on a Twitter space or a stream. And I remember watching it. And he's like, don't listen to this guy. And guess what? Now it all comes true. We got JRE in the house as well. We got Comic Calls. We got J
Let's go,
Hop. We
baby.
got Puna. We got Tony, Silk Road. My guy, Justin, my Ultra Journey. Everybody's here, guys. Make sure, look, this is going to be one of our most important spaces to date. Hit that bottom right-hand corner, that number 6. Let's share it out. Tag some people that you want in here. Tag Cliff, for God's sake. Tag some Shibnobi developers. Tag the Saitama developers. I don't care who you tag. Tag some people. Let's pack the house because this will be one of the most informative spaces. And we actually have Faltron up here. Let's give him the floor because he was one of the first people to call this project out. And now look at it today. What's happening?
Yo, thank you for the invite. Thanks for having me. Look, I've always said that I was wrong about Saitama, but I was right about Shibnobi, and Rodney was wrong about Shibnobi and right about Saitama. So we both got a little backwards, you know? We both drank the wrong flavored Kool-Aid. You know, as they say, everybody sort of takes a little sip when they're in a project with their friends, you know? The hype's there. You start believing, the money starts going up, your brain gets discombobulated, and you don't even know what's really happening. So, man, it's been a minute since I've even thought about that project and those wallets. Somebody had to even remind me what that space was about that I crashed. That was a recorded space when I came after Cliff and the dude from Breaking Bad, you know, the guy with the profile pic with the gun pointed at me. That was a while ago, but I remember that there was some wallets that had transferred like $14 million a piece.
Oh, I know the entire story. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like, I'm sort of out of DeFi in a lot of ways. Like I've just been leverage trading. So what was that about?
So guys, real quick, Rodney. Like we already have 120 people in here.
Let's go, baby.
This will be recorded live. I want to make sure that we go through this story correctly. So let's start from the beginning. Let's kind of explain Shibnobi. Let's kind of explain, how the project got started, the massive pump because it went to multi-billion-dollar market caps. Even I remember there was one time there was like a partnership with Rampage Jackson. There was like a wallet that had like 56 million in Shibnobi. Let's go through the whole story, and then that way we can kind of get into more details so people have a clear understanding because not everybody's caught up on the Shibnobi story.
100%. Let me go ahead and go through it for you guys. And the reason why we had this big war, I'd say community wars, was because it was pretty funny just dunking on Saitama and those sorts of things. And you know what I mean? But Feltron pointed out something that was very sketchy and very true. So Shibnobi started in either November or December of 2021. And here's the thing. In every project, they have pre-salers, angel investors, people that invest into the project beforehand. Now, it was a little different in Shibnobi. So they had their angel investors. Keep in mind, this is DeFi. We don't know who those people are. We have to believe that they are who they say they are. So they had some sort of deal promise that every so often those angel investors would get airdrop tokens. But they're not supposed to sell. Here's the thing. There was no sort of legal contract, no other binding agreement except, trust me, bro, don't sell. Cliff, promise not to sell. And what we saw every single time is when Shibnobi started to pump, these wallets started to sell, which is fine. I get it, right? Whatever. If you invest early into a project, you want to take profits. But here's the thing. When you're getting airdrop tokens every 3 or 4 or so months for hundreds of thousands of dollars at the all-time high, and these people are selling, it looks pretty fucking shady because we don't know who those people are. Yeah, Cliff can tell us, oh, they're No, they're probably the dev team. So what happened that day was Faltron, and I forgot the other guy's name. They noticed this on Etherscan. Why are people getting airdrops from the deployer? Now, Cliff had an answer for it. I mean, you could believe that answer, but Etherscan doesn't lie, and so we're supposed to believe that these guys are angel investors. They were promised airdrop tokens every so often. You know what I mean? But they were also not supposed to sell, but they didn't. Anyways, okay, so that's Shibnobi V1. The beef with Saitama started was because Shibnobi was supposed to get listed on SataMask, which we know never fucking worked, right? Now, at the end, Russ, last minute, pretty much said, no, we're not listing you because their contract wasn't renounced. Whatever, big community war, they went at it, whatever. Now, later down the road, there was something wrong with Shibnobi V1. Their contract ate everyone's reflections. The incentive for holding that damn shitcoin, it ate everyone's reflections and sent it to the burn wallet. So they had to start a new contract. Well, when they launched the new contract, was all the liquidity there in the V2? I have people close to the project talking to me. You know what I mean? People that were, involved in the project, people that I knew that are giving me some information on the inside and who told me earlier that they were going to announce this today. So where's all that money? Why don't you have money to get you through the bear market? Saitama's still around kicking. A lot of shitcoins are still around kicking. Where's all that money? I do not believe that there's not enough money to continue this project. I do not believe any of that. I believe they're walking off into the sunset with a fat bag, and that's pretty much the history of what went down with Shibnobi.
Thank you for requesting. I'm pretty sure Kyle K. Khan requesting. I'm pretty sure he's the founder of Dev and did really well in Shibnobi. So we're going to bring him up here in just a second. It's been wild. Yeah, I mean, they launched at a perfect time. This project really, they came after Saitama. Saitama went to a multi-billion market cap. We saw Shibnobi go to a multi-billion market cap. I mean, huge community, so much money in the project. And if you go back and look at the Shibnobi V1 chart, I mean, massive run up, huge sell off, massive run up, huge sell off. And like I said, it was very interesting. I was following them. They made this marketing campaign and they brought on Rampage Jackson, who's a former UFC fighter. And they had a wallet. And in the wallet, Rampage was kind of flexing it. One wallet owned around, and let's just say, I think it was 55 million, but I'll just say 35 million. So I'm not overstating 35 million of Shibnobi. It's like, where is that money, right? Where did that money go? But I want to throw it to Faltron now. Faltron, now that we've given some information about Shibnobi, I mean, what's your take? What's your take on them discontinuing use and discontinuing continuing this project, the development of this project?
Well, man, it's been a minute, like I said, since I've even had thought about it. I mean, I've always kind of thought Cliff was, I've had my issues with him. He'd had other projects that obviously didn't do so well. Anytime you see that in DeFi, anytime that project is probably not going to do well. If they have the, 3 or 4 projects under their belt, this one's probably not going to work. I mean, but this one did work. It just worked the way it was supposed to, transferring money from the holders to Cliff, right? I am friends with Elsie. He's one of the other devs. I can't speak too much because I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know. I'm not going to vouch, but it seems to me that he sort of got screwed in the situation. I'm trying to get him here as well, but I don't know if he can speak. I don't know if they're under NDAs or what. But yeah, I mean, it's as a lot of projects in DeFi, they sort of start as a purpose to siphon money out of holders into the devs' pockets. So I think it did what it was probably supposed to do, if I'm being honest. Can we get my guy Trevor up here?
Let's do it. Have him request.
I got him up here. And I want to say something real quick. About a month ago, Teddy, we all know Teddy, the CTO, started off, you could say fighting Saitama. They took him on the team and those sorts of things. I mean, even he feels betrayed in this situation. And about a month ago, he was trying to get an AMA on my channel with Shibnobi. And I had a VC with them, and it didn't go well, pretty much. And they were pretty much saying like, "Hey, you've been talking crap about our project, you've been fudding it, and those sort of things." Because I started to speak critically of Shibnobi around March or so, because I mean that doesn't make any sense, and your contract messes up and steals everyone's fucking reflections. And so we had this 30-minute talk in their VC, and they're mad because I was quote unquote fudding the project. I'm like, "Hey, you can come on my channel, have an AMA." But I'm not going to ask you nice questions. You're going to have to answer to the investors on why you have these people dumping the chart and why you're airdropping these wallets, Shibnobi tokens, and they weren't having it. So yeah, that was all pretty sketchy to me about a month and a half ago. And it looks like we have Khan up here. Khan, if you want to go ahead and speak on the situation, what do you know, man? How are things going with you? And
Hey,
what's
yeah,
up?
I just kind of wanted to jump in. Someone sent me this. I was the biggest holder in Shibnobi for a long time. At its peak, I had $75 million worth of Shibnobi tokens. Um,
God damn!
and
God
I made a
damn.
lot of money on
Holy!
Shibnobi. I'm not saying that, but Cliff almost acquired my company now, and we kind of did this to kind of save a falling chart. And he ended up snaking us, and I think more importantly, he snaked
Whoa.
LC, who was the co-founder of Shibnobi. And I'll let LC speak for himself. I mean, he already has, but there's a lot that went behind the scenes, and there was a lot of people that put a lot of faith and drank the Kool-Aid in Cliff. And I feel betrayed. I feel bad because I was a promoter of Shibnobi. I mean, I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't a pre-sale either. But I drank the Kool-Aid, and I think the proof is in the blockchain. Just the liquidity alone, he can't run server costs for the next 2 months is ridiculous. There's been millions. There's been 8 figures pulled to a BlockFi account. Like you can pretend like you're spending
Bro,
all this money,
yes.
but there's no way you can spend that much money. He did have staff, but you know, it's across the board, and I don't want to speak for other people, but everyone that did business with this guy felt snaked in the end, including myself. We pulled out of the deal because Shibnobi was in a different position and we had our concerns. But, um, we did our best. We were offering Cliff, free equity. We were going to spin them, give them their own portal because we felt bad for backing out on this deal. But Shibnobi at $1 billion market cap was a more tempting thing than when it was at 50 or 100 million and just falling. Um, but but he snaked us and he built a shitty version of what we do in a month with Saudi devs, and I think he bit off more than he can chew. He definitely worked a lot. But if he's sick, I hope it's from a guilty conscience, because I think I would have a lot more respect for him if that's the case. Because
Yeah,
I think I think that we all fell for it. It was a wolf in sheep's clothing to the ultimate degree. And I hope he goes to sleep for the rest of his life thinking about the people that believed in him the most are the people that lost the most. And I apologize for ever promoting this. And I believed in Cliff and I drank the Kool-Aid, and I've been warning people for months. And he told the
yeah,
core team 2 months ago that this was exactly what was going to happen. So I already knew this was happening. He already said he was going to shut it down. So maybe those people should have said something too publicly. Um,
yeah.
and Teddy and all them, they need a paycheck and they need their job. I don't blame them, but LC lost all the company. He made like 50 grand off a company that went to $1 billion market cap. He didn't even sell his bags, like, because and his whole life has been turned upside down by this. He had a lot of people that put faith in him, and we all brought people into this project, and we all lost a shit ton of money, or potential money, and a lot of people lost money that a lot of people. I don't know. It's just horrible. It's sad,
Hey,
and I'm glad it's over, and that makes me happy. But this is why the
yes.
whole entire fucking space needs to change, and I'm done with it. Like, this is too much. Like, I hope he's guilty, and I hope he's sick from guilt, because I would be. And it's just, anyway. I'm done. But it's just sad, man.
Hey,
It's just like, especially to come
it is.
out and be the dev of transparency, honesty, and trust, and showing his face, and they changed the game with those video AMAs. They really did. Like, that was huge. Seeing him every night and strong, Strong didn't even get a pre-sale bag. You know?
Kyle, let me cut you off real quick. Kyle, let me cut you off because it's easy to go on these rambling. But it looks like Shibnobi, the main Telegram, main Twitter account, joined us here, Rodney. If you want to invite them up, maybe they want to speak as well. I'd like to give everybody a chance to speak. But Kyle, you threw out some figures, right? And I just want to make sure it's accurate because this is a big space. There's going to be people listening. Is it on Etherscan? Is it proven that there was 8 figures transferred to a BlockFi account and cashed out?
Yeah, there's an account. It's called the Greasiest Weasel. You can track it all. Track all of these transactions. Everything's on the blockchain. Not to mention,
I'll pin some of their posts to the top.
yeah,
Yeah, please.
please look into it. Not only that, but don't forget the liquidity was launched with like half the liquidity, millions less than originally was in V1 when V2 launched. Are you telling me he can't pay the server costs with the liquidity he pulled? It makes no sense. The server costs are not $500,000-$600,000 a month. I don't know.
You know what, Con? That's the sentiment. And I went ahead and sent an invite to the Shibnobi account. And that's the sentiment I've been getting from a lot of people I spoke with on the inside. They're like, none of the math makes sense. Why are we abandoning the project? You know what I mean? Like you said, wolf in sheep's clothing. And it's just a bunch of bullshit. It's unfortunate that the investors have to... It's crazy to me, right? When you do things like this in this space and you have all these people like coming out saying the same exact thing, it's not a coincidence. But I did invite them up here to speak. Of course, if you guys want to go ahead and touch on the subject, you can go ahead. Let's go ahead and
get Rodney. It is good to hear both sides, right? Like,
100%.
Because I think it's important because I honestly, I'm up here, I'm speaking. I wasn't even in the Telegram voice chat. Like I've known Shibnobi since launch. I've seen them, since launch. I wasn't in the Telegram voice chat. I don't know why they're discontinuing. Right? You said it was for medical reasons and just stepping down. But
No, he
it
just
is
said
always good to hear
personal.
Personal reasons. Excuse me. It is always good to hear both sides. Let's go ahead and throw this over to T Hobbs. And I don't know who is running the Shibnobi account, but you guys are more than welcome to speak. You'll have your floor to be able. This is a fair space. So you guys are welcome to come up and speak. You can feel comfortable speaking up here. Hobbs, let's give it to you. Let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, man. I was actually listening in. I was doing my show, and in the Twitter space, he actually did say medical reasons. Like he said, his health was bad. He had some things going on. But dude, I'm fairly new to this whole DeFi thing, right? And just kind of being behind the scenes. But like for me, Shibnobi sounded really, really, really familiar to a project that I just recently stopped promoting. And you can fill in the blank with 4 letters, right? Everything that Cliff is doing sounds eerily familiar. And I know it's not just me, and it's not a project I was just recently promoting. It's starting to become a trend. And I am so glad to see, the SEC kind of step in because I'm just tired of it. Because even though we're DeFi and it is the wild, wild west, to me, like I think people are taking that and just kind of running with it and forgetting that there's people behind these profile pics that are actually getting freaking wrecked. And then you can't just wreck people, right? Disappear all of this money. I don't know any of the facts with Shibnobi. I know what I heard in that Twitter space, and I know what I'm hearing in this Twitter space because I never invested. I didn't have anything involved with Shibnobi. I was done after Saitama with the craziness, right? However, the one thing that I keep seeing is not just the millions of dollars that are coming up missing. It's the fact that once they give that quote unquote excuse of reasons or, people are coming after my family and I just can't take it anymore. That would be okay if they then don't turn around and come out with an entirely different project within the next 2 or 3 months. That is the part that makes it scammy. And I guarantee there was somebody on my channel today that said, look, I was trying to tell people about Cliff from back in 2021. He was involved with a project at Rug Pool, and I was trying to warn people and they didn't want to hear it. Don't be surprised if you see this person show up again in a different form in the next 6 months when this market turns bullish.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One thing we've seen a lot, like I see that a lot with the developers, they're serial developers. Let's go over to Faltron, then we'll give Trevor the floor.
Yeah, and let's not forget, we're kind of going back to the history, and it's been a long time. A lot of us have been around for a while. I literally have forgotten more than I have remembered about all of these crazy situations that we've all been a part of. But let's not forget about the Shibnobi swap, right? Like, they had tokens that were listed that somehow got hacked and had all their liquidity drained. I think
crazy.
heavyweight token. Shout out to my guy, Heavyweight Shift. He was one of them. And I mean, there was just all sorts of fuckery afoot. I don't know if I'm sorry for cussing. My bad.
You can cuss on the
Shady.
space. You can, bro.
Sorry, I'll keep it professional. But so it's like all of these things have happened, and all of this money goes missing. Like, and I know that Cliff, we found when I was looking into him back in the day, we found his GitHub account. So, he did know how to code, and he was learning these things, and like you could sort of see his progression as a coder throughout his various projects. I think his account's still up. On there if you want to look through some of his code. So he did know what he was doing, and he did know how to do some of these things. Am I implying that he hacked into some of those? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything like that for sure, but I'm just saying, like, there was all these little things that had happened throughout the course of the project. When you start adding everything up, and again, like you look at, him, buying all these houses and wrapping Lambos and all these things. It's like, well, where'd the money come from? Obviously from your liquidity pool, I would imagine. But yeah, my guy Trevor, if we have any questions on Etherscan, he's a whiz. I'm trying to get LC up here as well. I don't know if he wants to comment or can. So,
Faltron, that's a fantastic point you brought up about Heavyweight. I remember that for Shift Token. And another guy called him out too in video form. I forgot what project that was. But apparently when they were listing on Shibnobi Swap, there was like some huge liquidity problem or a hack or something like that, where all of the liquidity got drained out of some of these projects. And it's like, we have Rise Up here, actually, who was part of the whole first debacle. Is that true, Faltron? He was the one who
Rise Up token.
Yes.
You mean Davey?
Hey, what's up, bitches?
Yes, Rise Up Davey. Yes, I remember. I'll get him over here.
Rise Up, unblock me, little weirdo.
He was just upset. I think Davey was just upset you made a video about me getting buried by Cliff. So
are you calling me a weirdo?
Yeah, unblock me. But tell us, because I went ahead and talked about the situation back when you and Faltron pretty much exposed the airdrops and those sorts of things. What do you remember from that situation?
I just unblocked you.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, now you got to unblock me, Davey. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Unblock me too, Davey. What the hell? Whoa. I unblock the person I choose, not you choose, okay?
Okay, Davey. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Davey.
Yeah,
we apologize.
let's hear it.
Go for it.
Come on, Davey.
Who called out Shibnobi? Who was the first person to call out Shibnobi as a scam and a slow rug pull?
Who was it?
Me.
Nice.
That was
Awesome.
Rise
All
Up,
right, tell us what
just
happened.
block me. Just block me, Rise Up. Block me now.
Just reblock me, bro. Just reblock me, bro. Just fuck it up, bro. All right. Let's get but Rise Up. I remember you were on that space with Faltron, and you guys pretty much showed them the stuff on the blockchain. Trevor, you have any memories or anything about Shibnobi, or what do you make of this whole situation?
I mean, it's just like, it's crazy when you think of it like big picture, how this is still a conversation when we had full on spaces and, how many hours of research for other people to then prove what was going on, maybe a year ago, if not longer, right? It's insane that people are still believing it. And the sad part about all these things, once the proof is there, that it explains what the project is, it explains who the devs are, and that's not going to change, right? It's just a matter of time before something like this happens where the dev said, okay, I took all my money that I possibly could have. When's the next one? I'm done with this one. And I think that's the sad part, is because we keep seeing serial ruggers who are even doxxed, right? They'll disappear for 6 months and then they'll come back and start a new project, and it's hoping no one remembers and blocking the people that do.
Yeah, 100%, Trevor. And what we're seeing in this space too is the same thing with Do Kwon. Like, people don't know that Do Kwon actually had another failed algorithmic stablecoin project before Terra Luna, and we know that Cliff actually had a failed project before Shibnobi. And to me, because a lot of people don't like the Terrarium guys, a lot of people think that, why would they launch a cryptocurrency project and do all this work for nothing? It's like, no. It's not for nothing. Look at the amount of money these guys made in a year or year and a half. Wouldn't you fake some sort of story or pretend like you have some sort of lucrative company to make millions and millions of dollars if you just had to do it one time during a bull market for a year? Like, wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't that be, a good
With
decision?
little to no regulations as well.
Crazy.
And again, like somebody like Cliff will be back, in a year when the bull
100%.
market's back. He'll be back. Hey, everybody, remember me? I cured cancer. I'm back to make another token, and everybody will forget. Everybody will support it. Nobody has any moral compass when it comes to some of those things. They'll all just shill it and probably not care that much.
But even worse, Faltron, people that are new to the space, right? That mass adoption is coming, so we're growing. Even worse, if they don't regulate crypto soon enough, people who are new to the space won't even know who Cliff was. They'll just support it because they think it's the best thing since sliced bread. That's what's gonna really. That's what really gets people wrecked. Is they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, everybody has a short memory when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. But I want to go ahead and get Blockchainiac. What do you think of this whole situation, Blockchainiac? What's up?
What's up, baby? You know what I think because I told you guys how long ago? Homeboy was ripping you off. It's not. He has 2 failed projects, if not more. Ragnarok and Asgard, which he only guarded his own ass. He's an asshole. And he was stealing out of the charity wallet. He had little wallets selling off, dude. This guy used those other projects as practice. If you look, he was begging for money for Ragnarok marketing wallet at one point, dude. And right before he started Shibnobi, you know what he was doing? Pimping Webull and Robinhood referrals. That's where the $1 billion went. Motherfucker don't know shit. And those contracts were cut and paste from like Shibzilla or some shit. He don't know fucking coding at all.
Insane. So one of like the topics of discussion here is like the angel investors, like the people that were getting those airdrop every month. I want to let me know in the comments, guys. You guys listen to this right now. In the comments, let me know. Do you think those were actual angel investors, or do you think those are maybe some wallets that other people controlled, maybe part of the dev team and those sorts of things? Let me know in the comment section. And up here in the panel, how do you guys feel about that situation? Because that shit was crazy to me, and it was something I really couldn't look past.
Yeah, right. I'll add in that. I mean, like this is DeFi. Like when I hear angel investors, I think of that guy, Chamath, whatever you pronounce his last name. That was like an early guy in Facebook that actually invests in these companies. Like we're talking about meme coins and DeFi. Angel investors are just letting your homies load up on bags, right? Like that's kind of how I see it at this point.
Gentleman's agreement. You guys remember that? But there's another thing. Think about every time a wallet screwed the project over and dumped on him. He didn't blacklist him to a traditional blacklist, like a Solidity blacklist. His contract used, yes, people are shooting in the background. It's not a crime. I live in the country. They used add bot wallet to blacklist those holders. You really shouldn't call a real person a bot. It's really not a cool thing to do. It's not really actually on the legal level to call a human a bot and stop them from buying in your project. So he did a lot of shady stuff up front. So think about that. Add bot wallet. He blocked bots. They probably weren't real. It's probably him. I know there were some real ones because I know for a fact that Luke brought some in because he has connections in crypto. I know that for a fact, but some were probably old Cliffy.
Yeah, and I want to bring up a point too. It's like, this is the second time that we've covered this, right? Like the first one was Lillian Finance. For those that don't know, Brad Beatty, the CEO, he used his daughter who has...
Oh my God.
It's important to bring it up, right? Because this is the shit that's happening in the space. Like he used his daughter who... I don't know exactly. She's like mentally challenged. She has, some form of autism, I believe. And she's under 10 years old. He had her go on a live stream with like other influencers and developers and announced that Lillian Finance, who had $4,000 in token volume on a day, had under 11,000 holders, was only on 3 exchanges, was getting listed on Coinbase. He had his daughter do that.
Fuck out of here.
And then guess what happened?
And Ryan Patrick, you owe me 15 ETH on our bet. Remember?
That's a
Don't
fact.
try to get out of it.
Bro,
You're the one that called me out in that space. You better have my money.
Hey, Ryan Patty.
Lily is a very bright girl. She's not challenged. She has some kind of it was like a facial or something disfigurement that Brad worked to get done, but she's not mentally challenged. She's a bright girl, dude. Let's not go there.
No, we're not.
The point is that he had her announce it, right? And they said, we're going to go live. And I don't know the exact dates, but let's just say it was February 14th, right? At 5 p.m. They waited until February 14th at 5 p.m. to say, oh, wait, there was an error with Coinbase. We're not going to go live. There was millions of dollars in volume per day. And if you know their shitty tokenomics, it's a 20% directly to Brad Beatty. Like they were making absolute cash. And if you guys know since then, They separated Lily from the Lillian Foundation. Brad Beatty stepped down, and they don't even allow. This is how fucking insane it is. They don't even allow people, nobody, to comment on their Twitter posts. Like they don't want anything. And now we have this with Shibnobi. Obviously, different circumstances, right? They didn't announce a listing and disappear, but I mean, they built up a project and now they're stepping down. It's just wild what we're seeing in the DeFi space. Go ahead, Feltron.
Well, and it's funny because like when you kind of look back on all of this nonsense, like we would all like think about it, Lily, Saitama, Shinja, Terrarium, all of these projects, we would all sort of point at the other communities and say that project is a scam. No, your project is a scam. Well, it turns out they're all scams, unfortunately. And maybe as a community, we should come. I think Saitama, I'll say something nice. I think there's a guy that's trying to fix it over there, Manny. But I don't know. Again, I'm not going to vouch for him now, but whatever. It turns out they're all just, scamming and taking money and like, like these projects are all just designed to put money in developers' pockets, and they're not even developers. They're just people that pay somebody to write their code and they cash out all the money.
Yeah.
And yet we have no standards in terms of like what we put up with as a DeFi community, right? We let these people run all over us and then we fight amongst each other while they run off with the money. A lot of this stuff needs to change. I think we need to start waking up to a lot of it. Because we're all getting screwed.
You had talked about, your friends are in it and you're seeing the gains and you're just excited and there's almost no evidence that could change your mind. And the perfect example of that, which is so fucking hilarious, is the head of Coinbase listings said, "No, you're not listing on us, Lily." Like
Literally the same day.
The dude who's in charge of it said this is a lie. And nobody cared. Like there were still people saying, no, they're going to list.
Crazy. And then I remember, Jake put out Jake's like, we will put 10 ETH into Lily Finance if you guys get listed on Coinbase. But if you don't, we have to have a conversation. And of course, they didn't take that bet. Now, I want to rewind a little bit. No, here's the thing about, the Lily Finance Foundation. Shitty ass project. They're scamming, whatever, right? As soon as they had Dell fucking crypto on their fucking project, you just stick a fork in it, right? But here's the thing: no one's blaming Lillian. There's no such thing as like bad children, only bad parents. And if you go back to 2012, that Brad made a book. He tried to profit off of his daughter's illness before. So look it. I'm not saying he is a scumbag person. So we're not. I know we may have got her health issues a little wrong. You know what I mean? But we're not knocking her or anything like that. We want to make that clear. There's no such thing as bad kids, just bad parents. But it's like, dude, Coinbase. How the fuck can you legally say something like that and just blatantly lie like, oh, something got lost in communication? It's like, how? Like when are people going to be start to be held accountable?
But we have to ask ourselves, what is it about DeFi that makes it so no amount of evidence can ever change your mind? Like Comet was just saying, it's one of the strangest phenomenons. It's like this
in the most transparent industry. The blockchain is a public ledger. That is what it is. You can look at Etherscan, you can look at BSC scan, you can see where money goes. Like it's the most evidence-based industry there is.
Comet, it's because people fall in love with the idea of the future of expanding their bank account. It has nothing to do at all with whether or not you believe what's happening, whether or not you know for a fact this information is true. You can see it on the blockchain. Nobody cares about that in this space because at the end of the day, we miss Doge, we miss Shiba, we missed on Saitama, and this may be our chance to really make it. And that's what people like. That's what the developers that are being ill managed, that's what they pry on. Like that's what they're waiting on.
I'm feeling 100%. FOMO. I'm feeling FOMO just on imagining what you just said. Yeah, when's the next one?
Exactly.
And you know what's funny? What's funny? These are all offshoots of Saitama. Every last 100%. One of them.
100%. They're all in the same, birds of the same feather, right? We have Awesome Austin up here. We're going to let Awesome Austin speak. Just got up here. Then we're going to go to Blockchain Act and Trevor. What's up, Austin? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I thought I would never see this kind of panel before, man. It's good to see. I feel like I haven't heard Faltron's voice in a while, dude. Sorry, man. I haven't been in your spaces. But, yeah, it's a crazy event, man. Obviously I was big into Shinobi for a long time there. It's actually still my largest bag that I've ever cashed out in DeFi. But the crazy thing, too, is it just shows you how hard it is to build tech in this space. Like people come out and they say that, oh, we're going to build this, we're going to build that. When I was listening to Shibnobi Space before I came in here, and that was their big thing, is that all their utilities that they created don't profit. They don't make any money. It's because all the utilities, it's all the same utilities that everyone tries to push anyways. But that just goes to show you that like you can't just keep pushing the same old utilities in the space or use cases, quote unquote, because real technology is hard to make. It's expensive, and these people would much rather put the money in their pocket than actually put it towards technology. And we see that, and it's just coming to fruition. It's taken a year, but that's really what it is. They'll fluff you full of, oh, we'll be the next blockchain, we'll do this, but really it's just they're just skinning another Uniswap, like Faltron says. They're just going and bridging over to another blockchain. I mean, what are they really bringing from a new tech standpoint? Absolutely fucking nothing. No other project in the space is bringing anything new to DeFi, and that just shows you. This shows you how hard that is, and it's because people don't have the money to do that. So that's where I just want to come up and speak my piece on that.
And real quick before we move on to Trevor, just so you guys know, Cliff is leaving the project, and all the utilities are done. They're not continuing the utilities at all. So let's go ahead and get Trevor, and then we'll get Sis Diamond Hands.
And real quick, Trevor, and that's bullshit, because that was how they got people to invest. They literally were like, we're doing, was it all just a scam from the start? Because they had Shibnobi Gaming, Shibnobi Swap,
Bro,
Shibnobi
right?
Merge, Shibnobi NFTs, Shibnobi, they have that was a huge announcement. They rolled out fucking 15 utilities at once.
Well, that's the argument, Jake. It's like, and then that's why I talked about Terrarium. I'm like, dude, I think this all fucking facade. I don't think there's anything going. I don't think there's anything supposed to be delivered. I think that if you look at what they're doing, right, you spend a year and a half in DeFi promising everybody the world, you're making millions of dollars. Of course, anybody would do that. Like, the argument is, why would anybody waste their time marketing and pretending to do all these things? It's like, it's profitable for them to do so.
That's the thing I'm saying, is that people are spending the money in the wrong places. They want to become profitable themselves versus actually putting money into the project to make tech. But then they realized, oh shit, it's going to cost $50 million to build a blockchain and run it and have all the validators and get all the servers. Oh shit, I don't have the time. I don't know anyone that can actually do that. Oh, it's going to actually take a lot of money to build a game out and become a game in like a Gala Games type style in here. Oh shit, they start to realize how much it really costs, and then they start to realize oh, we can't find the smart enough people to do it, because again, they're using Fiverr. And I mean, that's unfortunate, and so that's where we're caught up in the space, is that all these developers and all these projects out here do the same shit, and it's because they really don't have anyone behind building true fucking tech. They just go down the same fucking shitcoin path that every other shitcoin does, and that's what we see. And as soon as you see that, you should be getting the fuck out of that project, because there's no reason that you should be like, oh wow, this staking is incredible, or oh, this new swap that they put out is incredible, because it's really not. It's the same old bullshit.
100%. And we're going to move on to Trevor, and then we'll get Sis Diamond Hands. What's up, Trevor?
Yeah, it's just crazy because, Austin's 100% correct, except for I just want to disagree with what he said, where the tech is hard to make. Really, it's really not that hard nowadays, especially if you have $150 million just sitting around. That's not your money. You didn't have to put a dollar into it, right? It's really not that hard to build maybe a wallet that's useful, that you can have your community, or a swap that you can have your community. But these shit coins, with normal men who are just launching meme coins, right, are being taken serious like they are this huge business. They're not these huge businesses. People are idolizing developers of meme coins like they're the next fucking Vitalik, right? They're not. They're just dudes who, normal guys who were fucking around on the blockchain, launched some tokens, and next thing you know, there's hundreds of millions of dollars sitting right there. They don't know what the fuck to do with it. So the first thing they're going to do is stick their hands in the pot and take it. You know what I mean?
But that's the issue, is because instead of going and taking that money and actually finding someone to really develop, because that's the sucky part, is if you found people that can actually create this and bring a real value or something.
Agreed. That's why I'm saying people are idolizing just normal everyday Joes. They're no one special. They don't have certificates in blockchain or development. They didn't go to school for it. They're not in the careers of it, right? So it's just now they're this random dude, everyday average Joe, is handed hundreds of millions of dollars and says, "Hey, go start a blockchain."
Trevor, listen though. People buy it though. So it's not going to
That
change.
that
Like
that's
it's
what I'm saying.
pointless to
That's the
even
issue. It's the
complain.
idolization of these
It's
people.
but it's pointless to complain because everybody in here has dirt on their hands, and I'm not going to go into detail. But until people
including
step
you.
up, what is it?
I said including you.
I mean, sure. But until people step up and want more, ask for more, demand more, it's not going to change.
No, 100%, sis. And look, here's the thing: no one shit doesn't stink in here. Everybody shit stinks. Here's the thing, though. Like, we can't go into the next bull run, right? Expecting the world from these projects, and it's fine. Meme coins are fun. Honestly, I don't want regulation in this part of DeFi. Yeah, centralized exchanges, stable coins. Yeah, those fuckers
Sure.
fine.
Oh,
But when it
100%.
but when it comes to our side, I want Uniswap. I want to ape into some random shitcoin with no regulation. But what we have to understand is that we got to stop believing these fucking weirdos out here that are promising us the world, fucking pretty much reselling us the same Uniswap over and over again, and then acting like it's the next best thing since sliced bread. It's like we got to get in, make your money, get out, and fuck these guys
Yeah.
that are pretending to be that way.
But that's
I
the
think you
thing,
I think you
though.
can make an ethical meme coin. You could say, yeah, we're
No,
gonna
I
spend
feel
eight
like
grand
before
on a
the next
Soldier Boy
bull
tweet,
run
and that's what we're
happens,
doing. We're
but I
not
feel
building
like
shit. We're
before
just buying Soldier
All
Boy
right,
tweets.
let's
before that happens, though, I feel like there
That
should
was a
be kind of
poorly
an
timed chill.
unspoken.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get Wadi. Wadi DM'd me some information. So Wadi, what's up, man? What's going on with you? What do you think about the Shibnobi situation?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, Ronnie? So basically, the minute that I stepped away from Shinobi was two reasons. One, in the beginning, I did hit up Cliff myself on Telegram and I asked him what was going on with his project. And he told me about all the exchange coming up. So everything sounded all great, perfect. The first time Shinobi went up enough, everybody should have taken profit, but nobody got to do it. So we know everything that happened, and afterwards, somebody contacted me with inside information that he took 35 mil. So I'm like, wait, does that make sense? And he's like, yeah, bro. If you look at the market cap, it started going lower and lower and lower. And I'm like, so how is he doing that? One of the things they told me is, you remember the so-called pre-sellers that kept on selling? That was basically his. The other thing was that it didn't make sense to me when supposedly he created an anti-bot, selling bot, whatever. But then all of a sudden, somebody else created a new bot that was able to counter him. So my question to you guys is, how is that even possible if nobody else knew the coding of the so-called bot that he created before? So with that being said, it was a scam from the very get-go, and the Shinobi wallet, ledger, whatever it is, man, I wouldn't touch that shit even if it was given to me free.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the main arguments is and the shadiness behind it because although Cliff was able to explain why these wallets were getting airdropped hundreds of thousands of dollars every few months, it's like, well, we don't know who those wallets belong to. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get Blockchain Act to respond to that. Then we just got Crypto Deb up here, and we'll continue. If you guys haven't watched that video up there about Shibnobi's leadership bringing the flood. It's fucking hilarious. Check it out. What's up, Blockchain Act? And then we'll get Crypto Dev.
I got that video, dude. Like DM'd me numerous times, and then they chased me around and would throw up little Shibnobi logos in rooms, dude. It was kind of creepy, a little bit. But so what everything he just said is pretty much on point, dude. I mean, but let me go back to something real quick. you guys were talking about the Lily thing. Trust your gut above influencers. No offense, Rodney and Jake and whatnot, but there were two main things that could tell you Lily was not going to get listed on Coinbase. One, Zach from Coinbase did not delete that tweet, and people were threatening his job. That's legal right there. That's never, ever. If they were getting listed, they would have instructed him, remove your tweet right away. Second, that little girl's face when she made that announcement, not saying she knew, but that place, Lily Finance, isn't an apartment, a one bedroom in St. Pete. Kids hear stuff. Her face when she made that announcement was not genuine, and it was very sad. There was no excitement. Trust your gut, kids. And that's exactly what happened with Cliff. That dude came into space, fighting FUD, looking cool, trying to be slick with his turtleneck, looking like a penis. And what happened? He done fucked everybody.
And I'm
Crazy, man.
I'm
Yeah,
tagging the Greasiest of Weasels account. I'm pinning some of their stuff.
Go ahead, Jake. I think
It seems to be a
might
Shinja
have cut off.
insider. So take a
yeah,
look.
yeah. Pin it up there. And guys, we only have 36 comments here. We have 326 people, guys. Make sure to share this space. Let's get as many people as possible because we had about 500 people in here with Lily Finance, and a lot of people got, at least had some information about what to not look for, and maybe we can do it again. So make sure to share this space, guys. Retweet this space, and let's continue on. We got Crypto Deb in here. Crypto Deb, it's been a while. How you doing?
What's going on, Jake? What's going on, Rodney? Glad to be up here with you guys.
What up,
So,
Dan?
Happy to have you
yeah.
here as well. What's your take on all this, Deb? Because I know we've been connected for over a year and a half in the Saitama community. You've obviously seen the launch of Shibnobi. You've seen the incredible run of Shibnobi. You've seen the incredible downfall. Now seeing the lead developer Cliff abandon the project. I mean, what's your take on it?
So my take from the start was like, when I was like doing live streams and stuff, I would basically like vet projects and just say like, okay, here's a red flag. Like I wouldn't personally invest in this. And I had when Shibnobi like came up and like people were starting to get hyped about it, like before it was even huge, like people would come in my live stream and say like, oh, look at Shibnobi, blah, blah, blah. And like people would come in every day and I'd just be like, like, hey, be careful. Like there are these airdrops, like I think this dev is like stealing money. And I like was like, okay, like I'm open to talking to Cliff. And like he just had all of the like cult following just come and start attacking me in my live stream. And then they wouldn't go on like mutual grounds either. So like not like a Twitter space. Like it had to be like, oh, come in our Telegram and we'll set you straight. Like obviously I'm not gonna go in your Telegram and get attacked by your like cult like community. And like even like watching his like I guess like nightly like VCs that everyone was so hyped about in Telegram. Like he was just such a hothead. Like anytime anyone disagreed with him, like his fucking face would turn red. It was like fucking scary. And like there were like points in times where like his wife would walk in and he would like fucking scream at her, like fucking abusive and shit. I'm just like, why are people fucking listening to this fucking like hothead? Like I guess they got like emotionally attached and shit, but I mean that's why you can't get emotionally attached to your investments, because like why the fuck are you giving me death threats for trying to look out for you? And it just doesn't make sense. Like it's not just a Shibnobi thing, but it was just like it was not funny to see today, because like I feel bad for the investors, but at the same time when you're warned so many times, it's like how bad can you feel if people have told you for the longest time like there's a problem here. But so I'm not shocked that Cliff is running away, because Cliff has pocketed probably, I think someone said hundreds of millions, but I know for a fact millions. So I'm sure if he doesn't end up in jail, he's going to pay for the rest of his life. But Valtron, what's up? I see your hands up.
Yeah, Deb, you're right though. It's like this weird cancerous.
Yeah, go ahead if you had your hands up, guys. Let me get let me see K Con up here. Yeah, man, you know what, Crypto Deb, it's something that it's like the the whole terrarium situation. It's like some things you can't really look past. It's like the whole Binance listing, and it's like, to me, they all did come from Saitama, right? They're all Saitama investors and whatnot. And I think what they really saw is what Saitama did, and they wanted to mimic that. So it's absolutely insane. And yeah, I mean, Cliff is a hothead, man. I mean, his his response to people calling him out is, "Fight me, bro." You know what I mean? Like, come fight me. And what can someone explains what's the greasiest of weasels? What is that right there? What is that? Is that his house? What's going on with that? Anybody have any information on that? Faltron or Khan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
the
don't know who
weasel
the
has all
greasiest.
the info.
Go ahead, Falchon. Yeah, I think you guys should all just read through the greasiest weasel, and I also just want to say I have to go, but you know, there are lawsuits in the work against this guy, and I'm sure he's already caught wind of it, and that may be why he's running with the tail behind his legs, or whatever that phrase is. But if you lost money on this, like I would encourage you to look into those, and I'm sure those will be made public soon enough. But I think it's important that there are real assets. He tried to start a car company just a few weeks ago under Shibnobi. Um, he's diversified them into multiple companies. I actually brought him my lawyer, so I know firsthand how many companies this guy started. And that's not to say he did that intentionally for malicious purposes, but there's going to be real assets and personal assets, and you can track money that came into this guy's wallet, and if it's money that he cannot account for from some other means, then that means it came from Shibnobi. So if you lost money, you know, who knows how long it will take, and who knows how much you can claw back, but it doesn't mean like it's hopeless. There were promises made and lies to your face, and I think you're all entitled to at least try to claw some of your money back. I think you all deserve that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Khan, for that. And I don't know who knows. We're gonna let Faltron go next, and I don't know who knows any information on the CVC situation. But what happened there?
I could speak to that if you want. So basically, CVC was a project that was started by another developer, which was wholly absorbed by Shibnobi. And basically, what that Twitter, the Greasiest Weasel page is a collection of all the feats, if you will, that Cliff was able to pull off. You might even see some funny memes and merchandise in there with his face on it. Mainly, I just wanted to come out here to thank Rodney, Jake, and I know Faltron, we've had some differences in the past, but I do appreciate what you guys are doing for the space, and I hope this brings closure to everyone in the community.
Yeah, thank you, man. We appreciate that. And like a lot of us have had differences, you know? I mean, not me with any of you guys. I think I've got along with all of you guys great. But a lot of the people on here have had a lot of differences. And, you know, I think when you get so emotionally invested in a community and you got someone like Rodney up here talking shit on your investments and you're seeing your $10,000 turn into 5,000, it's like it's easy to go at him. But I promise you, I've met most of the people, almost all the people that are on this space, and all of them are good people. You know, all of them are good people, good men and women that are trying to do their best in this space. And sometimes that means calling a project out. But Faltron was calling out Shibnobi when it had a multi-billion market cap. And look where we're at today, right? And I know a lot of Shibnobi people were pissed at Faltron. And Rodney was calling out Saitama. He saw some red flags when it was at a 7 billion market cap. And look where it's at today, right? So, you know, even though people do call things out, I think we get so emotionally attached to our investment that when they talk bad about our investment, we instantly attack the people. But everybody on here is a good person at the end of the day. And yeah, I think this is a good space to be having. So, Rodney, go ahead, take back.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, it is what it is in this space. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any hard feelings. Like, we roast each other and stuff like that. But you know, I don't care if someone says anything mean about me. Like me and Faltron used to go back, you know, like at it hard. You know what I mean? Like I think crazier than anybody in this space, me and Faltron, right? We would go in space and just, just like go at each other. You know what I mean? And me and Ryan Patty. I mean, Ryan Patty hit me with something that's the worst thing you could do to a YouTuber is like a copyright claim, right? But we're friends now too, so it's like it's all water under the bridge. There's a few people that probably never be friends with, honestly, but for the most part, influencers or Twitter personalities or just crypto people, like we're all still friends. We're all DeFi people. You know what I mean? We're all here for one common goal, and it's decentralized finance, man. But looks like we have
and real quick, Rodney, too. We got 340 people in this space, guys. Like we said, if you can click that bottom right hand corner, that 40, retweet the space, tag some comments, see some people you want to get in here. David Gokshin just hit me up. He said he might be joining us here. I see Joey Hickson down there, JRE. We got Tammy Hammer here as well, guys. If any of you guys want to speak, let us know. We're happy to have anybody up here, whether you're, we invited Shibnobi too, guys. So we want this to be a fair space. Like Shibnobi's welcome. If Cliff wants to come up, he's welcome to come up. Let's throw it over to Faltron real quick before we go to 2-bit.
Yeah, I was rugging earlier, so I stepped down. But I was going to, touch on Deb's point again, and I want to reiterate, we can't get too crazy and too, emotionally attached to these projects. Like, these are all human beings. Nobody deserves death threats, to be threatened. Like, you know, and like Rodney was saying, me and him have gone at each other's throats. But you know, Rodney's my guy. I got love for him. You know, but you know, we were brainwashed. We were on that Kool-Aid. So look, all I'm saying is, if you see some Kool-Aid being served, invest in it. Do not drink it. Okay, that's my new rule. Invest, do not drink. Never drink the Kool-Aid. Anyway, one thing I was going to say as well is, we got my guy Heavyweight Shift. He was one of the projects that got hacked on Shibnobi Swap, or I forget what it was even called.
Air quotes hacked. Air quotes hacked.
Right, right. So he's the guy that had some money, but hopefully he can come up and talk. Shout out to Heavyweight. He's in here, so yeah.
Yeah, he's welcome. Is he? What's his name? I don't see him up here. Tell him to request. I know Heavyweight Shift. He's got one of the best voices in crypto. If it's the same guy I'm talking about, I think he's from London. London.
So
But
want
yeah,
a quick rundown on CVC, guys?
He's a mad lad.
yeah. Give us the rundown.
All right. So CVC was a big pre-sale, right? Keith was slick as hell. He would come into Slim Jesus rooms, Faltron rooms, with his logo, and just sit, fucking listen to everything we were talking shit about Saitama and all kind of stuff. Start gaining trust. Has a pre-sale. We all jump in the fucking thing. Really, what this pre-sale was basically Cliff funding Shibnobi Analytics, because when he absorbed all that shit, it's pretty much Shibnobi Analytics. He got us again and absorbed a whole nother token right into his bullshit project. That's what happened with CVC. Keith and Cliff are shitheads. That's it, basically. I thought that guy was cool. He screwed all of us.
Yeah, what happened with that project? Because he used to come in my live streams and he was like, "Hey Jake, we want to do a partnership with you." I never did one with them, just because it was like a knockoff CoinMarketCap. Is that project still existing at all?
No, it got absorbed into Shibnobi's market cap. You had to migrate your tokens back to get Shinja tokens, and you got screwed once again because you had to pay to migrate.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and, Rodney, do we need to drop some? I see Tim. We'll go to Tim next. We'll bring him up. Do we need to drop anybody to get Heavyweight Shift up? Because I think we might have a full panel.
Hey Jake, you can drop me, but hey dude, unblock me on my regular account, man. I'm not bum rushing people anymore, dude. I'm changing over a little bit. I'm starting to build in the field. Somebody said build instead of tear down. The shit's harder, but you know what? It's better for DeFi. So
send me a DM. I'll unblock you. And I rarely block people, so you must have said some crazy shit. So yeah, no problem.
Oh, I did, bro. Trust me. I did.
Oh, he gets hypey.
He gets hypey. Yeah, no worries. We're friends. I have no problem with you. Send me
Tampa. Come on, Tampa kids.
We're Tampa kids. Yeah, DM me your account. I'll unblock you, and then we'll get Heavyweight Shift up here.
I got kids. Talk to you later. Yeah, I rarely block because I don't even go through my notifications. So if I see something and you got blocked by me, you must have said some fucked up shit. That's a fact.
100%, bro. You barely even read comments. So I don't know how you even read that. But I don't see Heavyweight here. I know what his profile. I actually haven't seen him on the internet or on this for a while. But I know Tim's been having his hand up for a while. What's up, Tim? How you doing,
Hey,
baby?
what's going on, man? Great space, guys. I just want to say, man, you guys it's fantastic. You guys are putting out this great information. But man, this guy Cliff, I mean, he sounds just like that fucking punk B Roots. I mean, and that punk Ian Heinisch. I mean, they're doing the same shit right now that Cliff is doing, but everybody's following them. Everybody's leading into this stuff, and we need to call this stuff out. I mean, I'm not afraid. I know. But I mean, it is what it is.
Well, they both blocked me, and
and
we know what they're doing. But the thing is, we know what they're doing. They're a call channel, and the legality of that, I don't know. We'll not get into that. But we know the thing about Cliff and the other these guys is that they're packaging it a little differently. Like their angle is, it's not a call channel. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we have a good project. We're going to be here for the long run. And it's like, oh, I have some personal issues, and we can't afford to pay for the project anymore, and those sorts of things. So I think it's a little different. Even though I don't like those guys, to be honest, and they both blocked me, but it's a tad bit different, you know?
I just want people to be aware, and they need to open their eyes a little bit, and they need to watch, see, and everything. Because, we've seen this, and there may be something good where you can if you can go in there and get your money, go in there, get your money, and get the hell out. Don't hold it. Don't do anything, because if you do, you're going to lose. But, hey, man, I love you both, man. You guys are not like faggot love you. I just, bro love you.
God damn,
Whoa!
Yeah, you're appreciate
Oh
you, Tim.
my god.
Tim
Tim,
coming
I
in
wasn't
hot
getting
today.
You're
that.
Damn,
supposed to
Tim.
say no homo. Come on,
Yeah,
Tim.
yeah, Tim. I wasn't getting the vibe, but now that you said that, I might get in that little vibe. But let's get Two Bit
Sorry.
to speak, and then we'll get Y pumping here with
Two
chicken
bit
nuggets.
from London, bruv.
Two Bit,
London. How
what's
we
up,
doing
bro?
from London, bruv?
Hitting in nice day, bro.
It's
That
always good
race.
to
That's racist, isn't it?
get a super welcome from you, Jake. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, look, I probably echo everyone's opinion around you guys are doing some great work in the space. I guess I just wanted to context a couple of bits, particularly around Shibnobi. When you think and we talk about people not doing it right and really, I guess, setting people up for success in the next market. If we look at really what Shibnobi brought out, and Faltron brought up a few points around how everything just absorbed into Shibnobi. They had the Shibnobi bridge, Shibnobi swap, Shibnobi play, analytics, lucky draw, an NFT collection. Don't forget that fucking thing that you had to get into. Shibnobi store, as well as everything else. When you look back and you think about it, you think, oh my God, they're launching 8, 9, 10 arms of complete shite that basically leads into this Shibnobi ecosystem, if you can even dare call it that. And I think that's where we need to look forward in terms of what comes out. Actually, if somebody's going to come out and tell you they're going to change the fucking world by launching 12 separate arms that each have its own little pot of money that you each have to put it in, we've got to call this out. We've got to call this absolute shite that comes into the space. So I think, when you look back on it now and you think about the migration that went over, the, acquisition of CVC and whatever the hell that was, you look back now and you just think, yeah, these are the things we need to look out. So when we get to the next bull market, when things come in and people say, we're going to change the world and launch 10 different things, all part of one token, we've got to call bullshit on that. And these spaces absolutely educate and support in that narrative. So look, shout out to you guys, shout out to everyone in this space. It's a crazy world, and one day at a time, we're trying to make it better, I think.
Yeah, and I agree, because when I first saw that stuff, I was like, "There's no way." It's like there's no way they can build it all, and we have to walk a fine line. I mean, at least I do. It's like in the position that I'm in, it's tough for me when I know that there's thousands, right? Maybe even how many holders, 50,000 plus investors that invested in this project, and it's like, well, what if they were building this, right? Because a lot of people thought that they were. Because when I first saw it, I was like, that's bullshit. Like they have the analytics, the game, the swap, the whatever. You just named 9 things that but there's a fine line you have to walk as not even just like me where I'm at, but anybody. Like just calling bullshit on a project and saying it's not going to happen, because what if it does happen, right? There's always that choice. But I think you're right. It's like I think it just falls down to the investor, right? It shouldn't be on people on Twitter. It comes down to the investor. The investor has to look at a project and say, hey, do I really think Lillian Finance, who has $4,000 in volume and is on 3 exchanges, is going to get listed on Coinbase? No, they're not. Like, it comes down to you, right? Hey, do I think Shibnobi, who has this insane past, insane history, who just migrated to a V2, who just changed their logo, the core development team stepped down, do I think that they're going to launch 9 different protocols in a matter of a couple of days? No, probably not. So I think, yes, especially everybody on this panel, we can do that. But I think it does just come down to the investor and being smart with where you're putting your money.
What's crazy to me,
Yeah,
Jake,
for
is
sure,
like
man, 100%.
what's
Appreciate what you
crazy.
guys are doing.
What's up,
I'm
Two
off for a
Bit?
cup of tea.
And some hobnobs.
All I
Yeah.
hear is cup of tea.
Is
Cup of tea.
that racist?
I guess you like what I said. You just cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when the head of listing come out and says, no, this is not true. And everybody's like, oh, fuck that guy. Brad told me it was true. It's like, that's to me, that's so crazy to me. It's like nuts. And what's crazy to me, Jake, what got me about the whole Lily Finance thing, and I was just like, there's no way they had the balls, the gall to lie about it. It's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? But with that being said,
But think how brainwashed people are that they literally
crazy.
heard that and they thought, no, I believe Brad Beatty, the guy with the RICO charge of Lillian Finance, currently under federal investigation, and not the listing director at Coinbase. Think about the like, how do you even explain that sort of psychology? It makes no sense. None of this makes any sense.
But I think you guys underestimate the power of buy the rumor, sell the news. I think you're not giving enough value to this space. I think we're kind of devaluing the actual investors and traders that are in this space, because I guarantee you, everybody that was selling Lillian Finance based off that news that they knew didn't exist, when they were buying, they knew that news didn't exist. They were banking on the people that were uneducated to buy in so that they can make a quick buck. This market, any market, is a savage market. I think the overall thing that we need to start doing, and I think that since over the last year, since I've gotten into the influencer space, I think that all of us have done a much better job of stop trying to bite each other's heads off and instead focus on the people that really truly don't know what the fuck is going on. Because I think this entire panel and the majority of the listeners down there have a good idea of what the fuck is going on. And then there's the new people, the other people, the ones that just want to buy in and really feel like something good is going to happen. It's our responsibility to educate those motherfuckers. So
Yeah, 100% Hobbs. It's all about growing in the space. Faltron, if you want to answer that, and then we're going to get Y Pump here to speak next.
Sorry, I'll jump back in.
All right, sounds good. What's up, Y Pump?
Yeah, what's up? Jay, can you please unblock me? I don't know what I did to you, but it's...
Damn, Jake on a block party, mama. Jake, what are you doing?
I don't know. Are you blocked? You're not even blocked. You're not even blocked. You're literally not blocked.
She's talking shit.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah. You sound nice. You don't sound like I block you.
I think she's trying to slide, Jake. That's what she's trying to do.
I am single, so let's hear your pitch right here.
Trying to slide? Well, yeah, what are you doing here? What's your
pitch?
What's your perspective?
All right, guys, that's all what I wanted to say.
Jake, save some for everybody else.
Hey, she's not blocked, but she did just get a follow after that. Okay, Y Pump. You know what? Make Y Pump a co-host too. I'm gonna invite her to co-host now too, son. Hold on.
She's gonna get a lot more than an unblock.
Yeah. That's pretty good though. That's good chatter, guys. We like to have fun too. It's a serious space. We like to have fun too, guys. If you haven't yet, make sure to share this space, guys. Go ahead and retweet this out. Share it. It's a good space. It's an informative space, and I think it helps. Look, whether it just helps the people that are in this space, and I know people are going to be listening later. Like that's the goal, right? Like let's try to point things out so it doesn't happen, so people don't get wrecked in the future. So these developers and I have a quote: 98% of developers should not be developers. These developers can't just launch a token in their grandmother's basement and make millions and millions of dollars. Like we need to stop giving money from the retail investors to these scumbags, which is what they are. But Rodney, back to you and why pump? Why not pump? Right? I just gave you a follow. Thanks so much for the humor.
Y Pump trying to slide over here on Jake. Hey, you got to shoot your shot, baby. And Faltron, I know you had a rebuttal to that, and we're gonna get Jesse T up here, which is a goat forever in my point of view, just because of what he did on the Saitama AMA, which is fucking hilarious.
Jesse T's a full-time game spitter. Let's go,
baby. Jesse T.
Real quick, and like I'm kind of circling back because I was eating a slice of pizza. I apologize. But I feel like everybody here on this panel has been a little more responsible with what they have shilled. I've noticed that, especially when it comes to Rodney and Jake, I know you guys have always been pretty good about it. I have tried my best, but a couple have slipped through the cracks too. Deb, Austin, you guys all, Hobbs, Trevor, everybody. Well, maybe not so much Trevor, but he's doing a little better these days. But yeah, let me ask a question for the panel real quick. Do you guys think any of these devs that are blatantly ripping people off, do you ever think that they'll see their day in court?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yes.
The answer is 100% yes. The SEC is just moving slow. They're going after like the biggest, right? They went after Kim Kardashian, and they went after the biggest trading group, Atlas Trading Group. Then they're going after Kraken and FTX and the largest stablecoin and XRP, one of the largest cryptocurrencies. And if you look like at the news, you do see the SEC kind of slowly going after smaller cases from like 2017, 2018. But here's the thing, like that Lillian Finance Coinbase lie, that will always be there. The content that we've made, the videos that come about, that will always be there. If someone looks into that, it's a blatant lie. That's blatant fraud. Shibnobi from the start, I never even invested in it. Like I always looked at it, I was like, I think I made one video about it. I was like, I made a few, like just based off, because like it was getting views and whatnot, but it just never felt good. It's like if someone from the SEC takes a look at that, and they look at the evidence, the ether scans, the cars that were bought, the houses that were bought, how they just abandoned this project here in 2023, that's clearly fraud. And I know people think like, oh, there's no rules in crypto. It's wild, wild west. Like, well, you're looking at what the SEC is doing now, right? Like they're stepping in, they're saying like, hey, most of these cryptocurrencies are securities. They're wanting you to register. So it's going to take some time. But as Comet Call said at the beginning, it's a beautiful thing that everything lives on the blockchain. It's there forever. So my answer is yes. Let's hear Crypto Deb. We'll go to Hobbs and then Jesse.
Awesome. So my answer is yes as well. I know a few friends of mine who actually have friends who are in the FBI, and not only are they looking at some of these smaller projects that we wouldn't necessarily think they are, like let's just say Shibnobi, for example, something with that market cap, that amount of following, like these I guess we would call them bigger DeFi projects, but of course it's nothing like, like HBAR or XRP. They're already looking into, these devs, and, just because it's not public doesn't mean that it's not happening yet. And then another thing with that is that I've also been told that they're also investigating like YouTubers and, people who are pumping and dumping on their following and stuff. So they've definitely taken a note of all the craziness in DeFi. And I don't want to see too much regulation, but I do think that a lot of these devs, maybe not all of them, but especially like these larger devs, such as like, what the fuck's his name? Cliff. I always call him Hothead, so I forget his name, but I think he will be held accountable, whether it's, a year from now or whenever. But I think it's inevitable that, you can't just steal millions from people and just, go about your life like everything's normal.
Definitely. What do you think, Jesse?
No, I just wanted to say, somebody said something earlier. I can't remember who was saying it, but all these guys are hype men. Cliff, Russ from Saitama, that's all they are is fucking hype men. They hype the shit up. They get people like, I hate to say it, but smart traders, they're going to buy in, buy the hype, sell the news type shit, but it's going to create FOMO with people who are unknowing to what's really fixing to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, y'all just kind of hit me on another level. I'm going to quit shilling a lot of the shit I shill. Because it does make me feel bad to think people get in and lose and shit. But it's all about intentions, and I've never had like negative intentions or malicious intentions. But at some point, we're all going to be held accountable for some of this shit eventually, probably.
Definitely. How you feeling, Hobbs? And then we'll go to Austin.
Yeah, I think we're missing a key factor here as well. When we talk about the blockchain doesn't lie, we talk about the houses, the cars. Listen, guys, some of these projects that can promise you these things, they're not building this shit in their basement. They're paying external people or external people to actually make this happen. They're paying to get these white papers done. They're paying to get these brandings done. A lot of us know because a lot of us influencers end up being behind the scenes. There is a paper trail. It will literally be a fucking layup for the SEC. I don't have the yes or no answer. I hope that it happens, but I can't definitively say yes or no. I will say is if the SEC,
only time will tell.
Yep, if the SEC decides they want to bring the hammer down, this is a fucking layup because there is so much evidence that the SEC can track that it's a joke. This would be so simple. And I bring this last point, which is in the stock market, there are 3 or 4 big time influencers that are currently being sued for every fucking penny that they pumped and dumped out of penny stocks, OTC stocks. They prove this shit down to the fucking time frame. And if you think that once they get your wallet address, that they don't know to the freaking timestamp on the blockchain exactly when you bought, sold, transferred, everything that you thought was never going to be brought to light, once they track it all together, I mean, we got people like Skywalker, and Trev down here that can easily do this shit from their basement. You don't think that the SEC has a team of motherfuckers that have way more access to the blockchain that if they need it, they can literally come in here and destroy every single bad actor? They absolutely 1000% can do this. And that's why I say regulation might not be coming, but all it's going to take is for them to lock up some people that we might have heard of, Cliff, Russ, Sway, like whoever the fuck it is. Once they start lining these motherfuckers up and dunking on their ass, the rest of them will absolutely go away. So
definitely great point. What do you think about that, Austin?
Yeah, I think I was mostly responding to Jesse. I think this just shows you what a year, maybe almost 2 years of talking about all these projects have done for a lot of us, even influencers and everything, of like, trying to really find the real projects to talk about. And it sucks because all of us have at one point probably talked about something that hasn't turned out to be that great. And we all sort of come in here, and what's nice though is we are starting to see, and I think Klaus might have talked on this before, like we're not all attacking each other. Like I think there's some people in here, influencers, people, that really want to find like projects that actually can do something. And there's people out there that maybe just want to shill. But I guess when it all comes back around, it's nice to see that like we're not. I haven't seen anyone really attacking a whole lot of people. There's a couple, but I mean, it's nice to see us all come together and know that they're at least be able to differentiate who's trying to scam people and who's really trying to do good things in this space, both from a development standpoint and from influencer standpoint. And I hope that continues. I really do, because it does suck, because sometimes you do get caught up in some bullshit, and it sucks when everyone just comes barreling down on you. I know Hobbs just went recently through it with BTFA, but it's nice to see that like it's calm, that's sort of calmed down, and you have to realize he doesn't hold the keys to this shit. You know what I mean? He doesn't hold the keys to any of this. He's just there to support it and believe in something that you're told. And unfortunately, we get caught up in that bullshit.
Yeah, what's really hard in this space, Oz and Austin, it's like everybody in here knows, especially if you've tried to run a business before, most businesses just fail, right? And moving it to the blockchain is no different, but it's the intentions that go into it. It's like the shady shit all along the way. I can totally respect the team that is trying and shit just didn't work out. But when you have so many people coming out and saying the exact same things, especially about Cliff and this Shibnobi, it's not a coincidence. All those people that felt like they got snaked, it's not a coincidence, right? There's no reason why all these people come out and say, this guy's a fucking con artist. You know what I mean? So thank you, Austin, for the explanation. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Did you have something to say to that? Looks like your mic is off. But Jesse T, go ahead, man.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned the Kardashians and shit. I don't know if y'all seen a couple weeks ago, Paul Pierce, I think he had to pay back like 1.4 million, and he's not allowed to even post or anything in Shilla or anything, a cryptocurrency, for like 3 years. But also, like, one of the key things in that thing I was reading was, he got paid. He got paid to post about it, whatever he did. I don't know, but anyway, he got paid, and he didn't disclose that when he was talking about it. So that's another thing with some of these shillers and shit that's getting paid, and like somebody was just saying, they're going to be able to track this shit on the blockchain, and if people's getting paid for it and they're not disclosing that information, I think Deb was talking about, or somebody, the FBI or whoever is looking at some of these smaller cap projects, all that shit's going to come to light too, and we're probably going to see people that we're more on a level with, or we interact with more often. We're probably going to start seeing some of them face some type of repercussions eventually, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. I think the big issue with people didn't know about, Paul Pierce, Lily Finance, Floyd Mayweather, Lily Finance, Jesus fuck, Paul Pierce, fucking Kim Kardashian, and Floyd Mayweather was because they were advertising Ethereum Max, and they didn't disclose that they were advertising, because it's different, right? When you see a person genuinely shilling something because they believe in it versus a person that's being paid to promote something, which it's fine, do either or, but an investor is going to look at someone that they look up to a little differently if they know they're being paid to promote it, whereas they think it's like an organic idea and those sort of things. But Austin, you had an idea. What's up, man?
No, I totally got stuck in the blockchain. I don't even know if you guys heard what I said, but I won't repeat it if you heard me. So I just wanted to come up and say it again.
I think the last part cut off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and it's just basically, I just like that I think we've sort of laid back on that, because we're able to differentiate it, and that's all. And it's good to sort of see this, that we're able to come into these spaces. 2 years ago or even a year ago, man, this would have been a fucking riot in this space. I don't think anyone would have been able to talk.
Those are the days, though. Let's never discredit those days. That was fun.
Come on now, bro. I mean, they're going to come back, though. During the next bull run, we're going to see ERC20 tokens popping up left and fucking right. And the cool thing is that because we're kind of smooth brained, right? A lot of us let's be honest now. We've all been in this space for probably the same amount of time. And if we're going back and I used to make positive Saitama videos. I haven't taken them down. I look like a fucking jackass. They're literally promoting the same shit as Uniswap. And I'm like, this is going to change to crypto, like fucking smooth brain. But the last year and a half, a lot of us are growing. We're no longer cavemen. So next time when the bull run happens, we know that, hey, buy the rumor, sell the fucking news. They're probably here for a good time and not a long time. So, hey, we're all growing in this space, and it's good to be able to see all the familiar faces up here and continue to grow with you guys. But I don't know who else had their hand up. If you had your hand up, go ahead and
I have a quick question. Did Davey from Rise Up just come up here to spike the football in our faces and then leave? Is that
I told you guys first.
Buddy.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
Dude. I was like, okay.
It was me, Davey.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? We have our boy Jayhawk up in here. Ugliest man in crypto. What's up, J-Hug? How you doing, man? This space got a little uglier. What's up, my boy? For those of you guys who don't know, J-Hawk's part of the my community and whatnot, and me and Jake, we're homies. What's up, J-Hawk? How you doing, bro?
Nah, we ain't homies. No, I'm just fucking with your fat head ass. Nah, but for real, I want to give Hobbs an apology because you remember that one day I was coming at him in a chat, and you know why.
Yeah, not a little bit. Yeah, you guys are absolutely flaming Hobbs. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, but the apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect, and I want to tell him I'm sorry for coming at him how I was coming at him.
Hey man, it's all good, Jay. I just hit you. I just saw your DM. I just responded to it, bro. Listen, here's the thing. I can take it because I'm a grown ass man, 40 years old, right? Like I'm a grown man. I talk to Rodney, Jake, Awesome. I talk to all of them offline, phone calls, whatever. What I want you guys to understand as investors, as traders, or whatever it is you're in crypto for, understand that the more you know about the people you listen to, those are the people that really got your back. Like if I tell you something about a dev team, and if you watch me, if you talk to me, if you listen to me, if I tell you something and I say, bro, I genuinely didn't know, I am the first person to say, hit my DMs. I give out my cell phone number. Rodney knows. I don't care. Like I got 2 phones. You can have either one of those numbers. I do not mind ever just talking offline because sometimes in the middle of the Twitter, in the middle of the YouTube, that's how wars start. And it's just beef that don't need to happen, man, because we're all in here for the same purpose, bro. We're all in here to make money. I appreciate the apology, man, and let's just build from there, bro. Like 100%.
That's a bet, bro.
All right, I'm gonna need you guys two to kiss, and we can go ahead and move on here. I know
Oh,
J-Hawk's.
shut up, Rodney. Shut up.
Man, you ruined the moment, Rodney. I thought that was beautiful, bro. That was some
You
man
know,
shit right there.
Rodney
Let's
can't
go,
he
Jay.
can't take nothing seriously ever, bro.
Absolutely not. No, you're
That was
right.
cute. Real
Ever.
fucking cute.
Rodney, I'm
This
gonna spare you this
magic
one time,
moments.
and I ain't gonna flame you in front of 400 people, so I'm gonna let you live.
Now, flame me,
Not
J-Hawk.
we in
Come on,
front
you
of
good
company,
Koopa
Jay.
Troopa
We in front
looking
of
ass
company.
boy,
He's
Goomba head
sparing
looking
Rodney.
ass
He's
boy,
sparing you.
I'm gonna spare
Don't
eight
you.
flame,
leg waka faka flame looking ass boy.
don't
Rodney,
flame
don't
him
do
in
this,
front of
dog.
family, in front of company.
Don't
We
do
in
this.
company. It's company.
Continue with your space. Don't do this. I spared you. You owe me one. Take me down.
All right, sounds good, bro. I'll have Mario coming in. You wreck all your homies, you little Goomba looking ass boy.
Oh, and real quick, make sure when you guys are, hosting, co-hosting, there's the remove speaker, but then there's also the remove from space option. Make sure that you're not doing that. I got DMs from people that are like, "Oh, what, you removed my girl Y Pump. She got the boot. She's trying to come back. She's sad."
Oh no, our bad, our
Oh
bad.
man.
Damn, Jake really put it to her. Dang, bro, come on.
Jake, bro.
I blocked her. No, I think I don't even think I did that. I think Rodney got jealous that she came in here and she hyped me up. He's the
No,
host
thank
of
you.
this space. She's hyping me up. He's like, fuck this.
No,
Kick her out.
absolutely not. Absolutely zero jealous. Jake, you want to go, bro? I'm gonna see you tonight or tomorrow, bro.
You're gonna see me tomorrow. And guys, me and Rodney, we try to host a good professional space, but we also don't know what the hell we're doing. We didn't know how to pin a tweet up there for like 6 months. So shout out to Faltron
That's
for
true.
doing
Yeah.
those.
When Austin showed me how to do that, like I literally, like I feel like I don't know. Twitter's the matrix sometime to me. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. And you guys are like the space people, like Feltron, Trevor, Jesse, like all you guys do spaces, like Crypto Dev. You guys do spaces often. Like we're just getting into the swing of things because Daddy Elon's over here running the show, and I think Twitter is going to be so much more valuable in the future when it comes to crypto. You know what I mean? Like this is like the spot. And now that we could speak more freely, you know what I mean? Like I can openly call Jayhawk a Goomba headed looking ass Mario character. You know what I mean? And without any sort of fear of getting kicked off the website. So I do appreciate that,
Hey,
guys. We're
yo,
gonna be
pencil neck ass, keep it up. Oh, pencil neck ass. Oh, blimp head ass boy. Jill dude, build head ass.
Geo, dude. That's a good one. That's a good one. Damn, Geo. He just called me a head with arms. Um, Fantastic, guys. We're going to spend the last 5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and close out the space here very, very soon. But I want to give a little, if you guys, other speakers up here, if you guys want to go ahead and give your last 2 cents on the situation, maybe leave the audience with something to kind of think about over the weekend.
Yeah, let's go in order. We'll start with Crypto Dev, Faltron, Awesome, and then we'll wrap it up.
Awesome. So just closing off, I think we all need to be very, very careful with what we're investing in, who we trust. You know, don't FOMO. I know all saw, most of us saw Shibnobi pump ridiculously and everyone FOMOed in and it pumped to like billions of dollars and everyone got, not everyone, but besides Cliff, pretty much everyone got fucking wrecked. So just be careful with what you guys are looking into. Always do your research and don't get emotionally attached because when you get emotionally attached, that's how you lose money and you get fucked over. So those are my 2 cents. Thank you, Rodney and Jake, for hosting this.
100%. Thank you, Crypto Dev. Some words of wisdom. Been a big fan since the OG Saitama days. Faltron, what's up, man?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll just reiterate on a couple points I made earlier. Invest in the Kool-Aid. Do not drink it. That is very important. These, these are businesses. These are people that are, usually came from no money that come into a lot of money, and most of them can't handle the pressure and just end up taking it. There's a lot of people that are just here to take your money, so be careful. And again, I haven't brought up this point yet, but guys, I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The bull market is not here. I know everybody wants it to be.
100%.
Be patient. Invest in projects that are going to be here in a year because, I mean, and sell them. I mean, eventually, if you buy these shitcoins right now, they're probably not going to be here. Like Rodney says, they're here for a good time, but not a long time. So just be careful out here. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, Faltron. Appreciate those words of wisdom. Yes, they're here for a good time, not a long time, baby. Learn how to use some of these shitcoins. Awesome. What you got for us, baby?
No, just appreciate you guys holding the space, man. I'm happy I was able to get into it. Fucking time zones are crazy over here in South Korea. So, yeah, just keep doing what you guys are doing, dude. And thanks for holding it all. And I'll be in the next one for sure. And be safe out there this weekend. You two getting together, that's fucking scary. So.
Ain't nobody safe, baby. Awesome. I want a care package from Korea. Give me something, bro. I need something.
All right, dude. I got your address, man. I'll send you some goodies.
Sounds good, bro. Appreciate you. I want a blow up doll. All right, Trevor, what do you got for us, man?
Just quickly, learn to play the game so you can play the game before the game plays you.
Let's go.
I appreciate that. Hobbs, what you got for us, man?
Educate yourselves, whether it be through YouTube influencers, by doing your own research, whatever it is. Make sure you educate yourselves because at the end of the day, you have to educate it so you can recognize a lot of this shit without us even telling you. So I would just say educate yourselves, do your own research, rinse and repeat, and you'll start to see the profits come into your portfolio 100%.
That's awesome. Jayhawk, you have anything for us? Nah, Jayhawk's over there probably, I don't know, doing something. Jayhawk's a mechanic, fucking
Nah, yeah, I actually am. But yeah, nah, I ain't got no closing statement. I'm gonna spare you one more time.
I appreciate you, Jay. Jake, you got
take the
anything?
dub and just leave.
I appreciate that, Jayhawk, bro. Jake, you got anything for the get us on out here, Jake?
Yeah, good space, guys. We appreciate you coming in. Rodney and I, we're not the saviors of crypto, but we feel like it's our job, as people that make crypto content to cover all the shit, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pumps, the dumps. And this is a big project in the DeFi space. This was one of the largest projects, and we saw them rise to multi-billion-dollar market caps with insane support for their communities. We started to see some red flags early on, and then today in March, we're seeing the lead developer decide to abandon it and not continue forward with the project. And like I said, mostly this was a space of people kind of going against Shibnobi. There are two sides to every story. So I will reach out to Cliff personally and the Shibnobi team, and hopefully I'll try to get them on a space as well. And maybe we can hear their side of the story and see why, because I always like to say that there are two sides of the story. But Rodney, I appreciate you for hosting the space, for Faltron and everybody coming in. Thank you guys for your time today. It's Friday. Hope you all have a great weekend. We will be back on Monday for another episode of the Crypto Hour at 3 p.m. So if you enjoyed this one, come join us on 3 p.m. on Monday. And Rodney, your final message to everybody that tuned in tonight.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a very, although, it started off pretty much, dunking on Shibnobi and just going over the project. I think the last half an hour, kind of gave a lot of different insight from a lot of different influencers in the space. So I do appreciate everyone's like unique angle. And like the point of all of this is because look at everybody's shit stinks, right? The point of all of this is like if you have the right to change your mind, right? And you have the right to learn from like the mistakes of others and the mistakes that we've had during the last year and a half. Like we're all fucking caveman brain when we first got into crypto. Let's learn and understand that some of these projects are just shit projects. They're here for a good time, not a long time. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Go outside this weekend, touch grass, dance on a big booty babe, do whatever you want to do. Take some time off of Twitter. It can get kind of toxic. Again, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.
Love y'all. Peace.